Hey everybody, Coon Prairie Ramblers here, and we are back again for the third installment of the Coon Prairie Ramblers here in Arcadelia. He's got a point.
We were talking about the barriers.
Yeah.
And we were talking about physical barriers that people are breaking records of how fast or how high they can jump from.
How much they can lift.
I watched a show last night on TV called Steve Harvey's got one about these kids, amazing kids that can do these.
Yeah, those kids.
That do things that are, you're wondering how a kid can do that. Last night he had this young girl on there, 13 years old. She had to, I guess they have like almost like a spelling bee thing where she had the best memory.
Yeah.
Could memorize things.
Yeah. Better
than anybody under 18 years of age. And he was asking her, how do you do it? And she said, saying like, nobody can really remember a long sequence of numbers. You have to attach those to images or a movie scene or something that can make you remember the King of Clubs or 1984 or whatever, whatever number it is you're trying to remember. And they took a deck of cards and shuffled them and handed them to her, and she's thumbing through them.
Face up or face down?
Face up where she can see them. She's thumbing through them, and probably about, I would say, 30 to 40 seconds. She said, okay, and handed it back to him. He said, you memorized that? She said, yeah. And then he had 3 more kids sitting at the table, and he started dealing out to them one card at a time, like one for you, one for you, one for me, two, until everybody had 7 cards. And they had their cards face down in the order that he gave them to them.
I'm getting a headache.
So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he looks over at her after he gets them dealt out, and he says, what was the 6th card that I gave Luke Wilson? That would have been the Queen of Hearts. And he reached over, the kid was sitting there.
They were in the same order that the girl had looked at him in. And he
except it's changing them when you're shuffling, when you're dealing them.
Which compounds the equation beaucoup.
So she looks at him and can tell that card was, and plus he's turning the deck back over. So he's dealing in reverse order what she memorized it. She memorized it from the bottom to the top.
And she got it right?
And then he turned it over and he's dealing from the top. Yeah, she knew every single card. He'd ask her all kind of questions about it.
Oh, man.
And she could get every single one, and she's 13 years old.
Well, you just can't win against her.
I'll tell you
That's what he said. I could take you to Las Vegas and we'd be rich.
Well,
But I think about that, and in some ways I think sometimes I have a good memory, and in other ways I think you can't even remember whether or not you turn the oven off.
Yeah.
She would not be the kind of person you'd want to be married to.
No.
And that's about all I got to say about that.
Well, he asked her, though, he said, do you have a photographic memory? She said, no. I'm just able to put things together and memorize them. But they use little tricks. Not cheat, but it's just a little trick.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Word association or something.
Exactly.
Jerry Lucas did that.
Who's that?
He was a famous basketball player. And when he retired, he went around, did talking engagements talking about how to memorize things or how to remember things. And that was his method.
That's the only thing that got me out of school is word association. I'd have still been in school.
Yeah.
Well,
helped me with my tests.
The preacher used to be at First Baptist Church was Reverend Englert. Yeah. If he ever met you, he knew your name.
That's like Terry Stewart, the city administrator.
Yeah.
Is he that way?
He's pretty good.
And he'd also know your name, your wife, and your children.
Your dog. And everything.
Your dog.
Yeah.
I mean, if he met you or your family, he'd know.
Don't remember too much more. You make me
I don't
nervous.
even know who you are. I recognize your face.
My buddy Scott Fisher's that way with birthdays. You tell him your birthday, boom, it's locked in, and he remember everybody's birthday.
And we
Weird
used
like
to.
that.
Now I have a tendency, not everybody, but there are a lot of people. I remember what their birthday was, not everybody, but
Really?
You don't mind?
for some reason, like I know there's this little girl that I knew many years ago up in Ohio, and her birthday is September 5th.
Is there some significance to it?
I don't know.
Crush,
I
crush on her.
haven't been able to really figure it out. I just.
Was she the little
happen to know
redheaded
it.
girl?
They got away?
Was she the little redheaded girl?
Actually, she was a brunette.
Oh.
Well, she got away, apparently.
Well, she's an adult. No, I don't even know what she looks like now because she's an adult. But
Look her up on Facebook.
She was just a little girl. Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is your birthday still September 5th?
Yeah.
No, you
all-
tell her that, and she'll say, stalker, unfriend.
Well, for some reason, I can't. I mean, there's a lot of people's birthdays I remember, but I just don't know why. And I'm thinking, well, why would I remember their birthday? But anyway,
That could be a barrier, I guess.
we know a guy in town, Dennis.
Dennis Carter.
Yeah, he can. I was on the board for the ARC board, and at Christmas we were singing
Christmas carols.
The piano player from
Jody.
Jody was playing the piano, and we were singing Christmas carols, and we were singing all the verses, and Dennis Carter was singing every word. I said, "Do you know every Christmas carol?" He says, "Yeah, I know all the words."
He's good like that.
He knows all the words to all the Christmas carols.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a
I
good buddy.
got a mansion
That's his greatest
just
hit.
over the hill.
He loves to sing that one.
He loves that song.
He sure does.
Yeah. Didn't he sing that at the Methodist church?
Yep.
We had to
He
sing
sings it
over
everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was supposed to be out at Mount Ephraim for homecoming for the gospel sing, but for some reason he didn't make it.
Yeah.
We used to have a deputy sheriff who worked with us at the sheriff's department back in the 70s, Ray Hall. And I think he knew every phone number of every business or every
Wow.
organization or anything that you had to make in town. Because somebody would say, "Can you call the Elks Lodge and see if you can get them on the phone?" And he'd tell them that number is, and he'd tell them
Rattle it right off.
He'd tell them what the phone number was.
Casey, a little earlier, you
Wow.
mentioned about getting something invented to make you smarter or something. Were you alluding to that to break or something?
I don't remember
Dennis
that.
Hawkins, not Dennis, Stephen
Stephen
Hawking.
Hawking.
Stephen Hawking's.
Now, I was
He
talking
said-
about the physical capabilities.
Yeah.
People are getting stuff now. I don't know if they can give you anything to make
Ginseng or whatever.
Ginkgo
Ginkgo or whatever.
biloba.
Yeah, I think maybe the future of mind increasing might come through electronics, or because they're zeroing.
I don't want
which,
no
of
electronics.
which part of your brain does well, does the
Right.
best. Like in Einstein's brain, they have his brain on.
Right.
They have his brain. And he has a certain lobe in the back of his head. There's a particular, and usually that lobe kind of, it takes a little U shape. Well, his lobe goes, whoop, a little bit lower than the average Joe.
His is very low.
And they were saying
Yeah, low lobe.
that gave him a particular ability to, for something. In his
Well, they say we only use a small percentage of our brain anyway.
Yeah.
If they could figure a way to tap into the rest of it, everybody be instant
So-
geniuses, maybe.
if they could zap it or stimulate it or something, a certain part of it.
Wake up.
I know that-
they do it with drugs, but
Well, I know that they say it's very good for you to do crossword puzzles,
Yes.
Sudoku,
I love those.
and
Crosswords.
some other
Yeah.
things, and it helps you in your thought process
Yeah.
and reasoning and thinking of things.
yeah. And I hear memorizing poems or memorizing a lot big amounts.
Especially as you get older and dementia tries to come get you, you start doing stuff like that to increase
I can
your-
walk into a room and not remember what
maintain
I'm
your
Yeah.
knowledge.
and then find something else interesting.
Yeah, so this must be why I came in here. Well, anyway, we're going to have to break a barrier and get on out of here so we can come back with the F-bomb. So y'all sit tight, and then we're going to make like a cow patty and hit the trail, but we'll be right back. See you in a few.